Welcome back to Mama B and Me. This is our first and maybe only early episode.
And by early, we mean 11 a.m. our time.
But normally she's up and been up for hours, but she was just telling me because she knew this was happening, or maybe
that might
that's
have been. I don't know. I couldn't get to sleep, and I don't have insomnia. I sleep like a baby.
I was asleep, or I didn't go to sleep until 3 a.m., and that was me. So we're running on the same sleep.
So it's your fault.
What did I do?
Because you were awake, then I was picking up that energy. No, because
maybe
that's
it's
every
your
night.
fault that I was awake, because I was picking up your energy.
Point.
Did you said you had topics this time?
I've been firing with the topics, but I don't know what you want to... Why don't you look at the list?
No. I like when you just randomly throw it at me.
Okay, well, one of the things keeping me awake last night was listening to a podcast about... They had two authors on. The first one was in a panic about AI taking over the world and taking over us and becoming sentient, which means feeling just like a human being. And the second one was on the other side where technology's all good and, the sky is not falling. So that was interesting. But when you think of the ways your generation doesn't know anything but the internet and technology.
That's not true. I had a tiny window where there was nothing.
Oh, no, it existed. Are you kidding me? We've had computers forever.
Okay, but I wasn't glued to it like this generation is.
But you're thinking more social media. I'm talking about how...
No, I'm thinking cell phones.
Artificial intelligence. No, way before cell phones we had computers.
I know, but anyway. But you weren't as glued.
Anywho, your generation doesn't even know how to do anything on... back in my day, you couldn't... I mean, if you had to look something up, we were talking about this when we went to the library the other evening. We had to go to a book of encyclopedias, 30 different, one for each letter of the alphabet, to look things up. Do you know how long it took to look up one thing? Usually, most kids, we were fortunate to have an old set of encyclopedias at home. And most people had to go to the library to do that kind of research and then take physical notes with your little pen and 3x5 cards. We've come that far in my lifetime. It's just amazing. And now you've got robots doing surgery, evaluating your health. And the whole thing is, what if there's glitches, I mean, yeah. Even consequences that are unintended.
We had this discussion in one of my classes, I think, when we were talking about the future of cars and how they already have flying cars and automated cars and stuff. And it's one day if everyone has an automated car, at any second, one crash in the system could fuck the entire thing. So that's why it's good to have some of both to test it. And so that's the fear, is that everything will be automated, everything will be robotic, but then some shit's gonna go down.
Yeah. I mean, I love technology. I'm one of those people. I'm not a Big Brother's watching me person. But some people are terrified that even, people are already upset that they can't use cash when they go pay for something. Most places want electronic payment of some kind, and they want to control their money, and they're pissed off. It's starting to segregate, again, like haves and have-nots. Those who are willing to go along with it and those who aren't. And then everybody talks about the Bible and how that's the whole chipping people and the 666 and
because it's the mark of the beast,
right? That this is the mark of the beast, having a device that's
and it's so people will willingly accept it into
because
their lives.
We like the convenience. I mean, I'm one of those people where they already have smart glasses where you can literally holographically think about what you want to look up and it'll appear in front of you holographically. I was searching this morning for things in case we talk about them, so I have a little more facts about them. With road tripping and going to see Mount Rushmore and Crazy Horse and all that stuff. And I had to go on my phone. Oh, how inconvenient. When you can literally, it already exists where you even think about it or ask for it. Because they've developed this technology for people that are paraplegics, for example. They're able to control a keyboard and a computer with their minds to look things up and see things. And I mean, it's there. It's already there. We've got people that are part, what's the word for, they have so many implants that are running their bodies. My sister has one. Our neighbor has one that tracks his heart remotely. So if anything goes wrong with his ticker, they get notice at the hospital and they know where he is and they pick him up. I mean, we're already there.
Back to the Mark of the Beast thing. Remember when I asked you if the phone is the Mark of the Beast, like if we knew that for a fact, would you get rid of it?
No.
And she said that, and I was like, "What? If I knew it was the Mark of the Beast,
I don't believe in the
room."
beast or the Mark of the Beast or the devil or any of that. So let's start with that.
So if someone told you,
I think most of the Bible is just somebody trying to control somebody else. I don't believe in any of that stuff. I know it doesn't exist. Oh. And I've heard thousands of testimonials from people who have died and come back.
But there are some people that will tell you they know the opposite.
Because they can create it. That's how powerful our minds are. If that's what you believe, you create your reality. As much as you choose what to wear today, you choose your career, you choose where you're living, you choose your reality. And if you want to go to hell, you'll go there when you die. If you want to go to heaven and greet your loved ones, they'll be there.
What a lovely morning.
That's my knowing. Okay?
If you want to go to hell, you
I'm
go
not
there.
afraid of it, but think about it. It's way more integrated in your life than you can imagine.
I'm already noticing a difference from this episode and all the others.
That I have a full list.
And you're talking.
Because you told me this was my session.
I know. This is great.
I wanted to hand it to you. That's my natural thing. Okay, so right up there with AI, my second thing was meditation. I mean, that's just the opposite about, and it does get back to our power that we create everything in our lives and all of our answers, whether you're stressed out or don't know what to do with your life or anything, the answer is inside of you. You need to go within, and they have done the research, and there's no question when they teach children to meditate in school, there's less violence and anger and more understanding. Yes, ma'am, you don't need to raise your hand. It's your show.
It's my finger. Like E.T. What's that?
Oh no.
Elliot.
Michelangelo.
What?
Which one was his God and which one is...
Oh.
It's on the top of the Sistine Chapel. Okay.
What did you just say?
No, I don't remember.
Fuck.
Going within for all your answers.
Yes. I was going to say that's something a lot of people say, and it's like become a thing where people are like, okay. So can you explain more of what that means to people that don't know?
Literally, especially you Bible thumpers, if you believe that we're made in the image of God, and even Jesus said, you will do all these miracles I've done and then some, we are created to have everything. All you have to do is believe and employ it. You can create. Do you there have been so many miracles in my life.
I was going to say, do you have a testimony to share?
Absolutely. I have many miracles. I don't know if I want to share them right now, but
that's fair.
My life has been saved on like 4 occasions where I should be gone. Everything from an emergency surgery to a drowning in Mexico to an accident on the freeway where everything stood still until my car came to rest. And I used to say it was my guardian angels, but what is that really? It's all energy and it's all our creation. I don't know. It's hard to put into words. Our words never fit.
Then send it.
Yeah.
From here.
Yep. Believe it.
Your pineal gland.
Yep.
Your third eye.
Yep. That's a whole nother topic. So yeah, take time to meditate, breathe. I have so many things. You want me to keep going?
Yeah, I'm enjoying this.
Oh my God, what did we do last weekend?
Don't
travel, road trips. No, road trips, travel. Get out of your own head as much as you need to go within to control your world. Travel and see things and experience things. Hell, you could jump on a bus if you don't have a car. If you drive, take a road you haven't driven down before and just see where it goes.
I had a dream, this is so off topic, but I had a dream that I had to take a bus just before I woke up. And I was sitting at the bus stop, and this lady in the bus stop was trying to kill me. She was like, I'm gonna kill you. And I was like, this is just like real life. At least where we live. That's why I can't
we're
take the
blessed
bus.
to both have cars, but we love
Yeah.
just jumping in the car, taking off any direction. I mean, you can look at a map for general direction to get away from a metropolitan area and rural areas, and just don't worry. Just go. Just discover
It's like he
and
knows
get
I'm
out in
helping him.
nature. I mean, it can take you. People say I don't have time or money. Go for 1 hour. Go for 20 minutes. I mean, just get out and explore.
And if you can walk, even better.
Yeah. And
Or
if
bike.
you can travel and go to other continents, please do that and experience other cultures. And don't just race around and do all the classic tourist things. You can if you want
Go
to,
into
but
the city.
take the time to
Safely.
eat their food, communicate with their people, see how they live, you know? It changes your worldview.
Speaking of different cultures, talk about your necklace.
I'll get back to that because that was a road trip. Let's get back to the people who say I can't afford to. What car are you driving? What cell phone are you using? Look at where your money goes. If you saved a handful of bills every week instead of buying the latest flat screen TV or the latest
Eating out all the
cell
time,
phone,
having Starbucks every morning.
eating out, exactly. Stop that shit. And most of us live close enough where we can drive to another country. Most of us. What, you think not?
Depends what part of the world you live in.
But the United States is like the biggest of anything, and we can get out of here
China?
and be in Canada or Mexico in
China.
the same day.
China.
Well, I didn't say we could go to every country.
No, I'm saying people in China.
And they got fast trains. Get on a train and get out of it. You know what I mean? Whatever. That
Get out of
changes,
Dodge. Okay, talk about your
changes
necklace.
your life. Okay, this was a road trip. Before a friend passed away, she had never been to Mount Rushmore and Crazy Horse.
Yellowstone.
And those are monuments in South Dakota. Yeah, Yellowstone Park. Just get in the car and go. So this was from the Crazy Horse Monument, which is, let's see, I actually pulled up a thing. So I know it's in South Dakota, but it's to, where is it? Oh, then there's the Dignity of Earth and Sky, that massive Native American woman made out of stainless steel. A sculpture of a Native American woman standing high on a bluff above the Missouri River. These are all three. You can see all three of these monuments
Did we see that
one
one?
day. Yes.
But why was that just right there in your phone? It's like you knew we were going to talk about it.
I did. It's my list.
Yeah, but I brought this up.
Because I put the necklace on.
Oh, you were going to talk about it anyway.
I thought you might say something, and if you said something, I want to be
That's weird. We're locked
accurately
in.
prepared to respond.
We're locked in.
So she's made of 12 tons of steel.
So we saw that one?
Yes.
Wait, go back. It does look kind of
She
familiar.
was in progress, remember? See, look at the size of the people. A person at her
Oh,
feet.
wow.
Massive. Beautiful. Everybody learns in school about Mount Rushmore, the figures of George Washington.
Did you just say Mount Rushmore?
No, I didn't. I said Mount Rushmore.
Dude, I just hear that in my head
Mount
now.
Rushmore. Okay, one time when we were on a road trip, I was talking quickly and I said Mount Mushmore.
I thought I said it.
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 Mary.
We both said it. How about that?
Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, Teddy Roosevelt, Theodore, and Abraham Lincoln in the Black Hills of South Dakota. And that monument is way smaller than the Crazy Horse one.
I think we should
Which
replace all their heads with
is-
Native American heads.
Crazy Horse is also in the Black Hills of South Dakota. The mountain is over 6,000 feet above sea level. It's made of granite. And the Crazy Horse Memorial Foundation is to protect and preserve the culture, tradition, and living heritage of the North American Indians.
Native Americans.
No, they call themselves North American Indians.
The Native Americans call themselves that?
Yes, it's their monument.
Ow.
So anyway, get out, do stuff. It again, you don't need that much money. You can save a little money. People that say they can't afford the basics, and you see them rolling out of Walmart with the latest flat screen and a case of beer and cell phones for the whole family.
Everyone has to determine what's more important for them. And sometimes it takes
but it's that exposure that opens your mind and
But I'm
changes.
saying for some people, there's a different path for everybody. And for some people, being inside with a flat screen and constantly being on technology, and then one day they will realize
isolation, lack of connection to other living things, not just people. Okay, read, educate yourself, never stop.
The 3 a.m. bedtime did not affect you. Did you already have your coffee?
Of course.
There you go, folks.
Yes, I have 2.5 cups of espresso.
I'm just trying to drink my little Coke.
Never stop educating yourself. Listen to music, the universal language.
All kinds of music.
Study the Beatles catalog. Listen to classical music when you're doing chores and driving. It keeps you calm and relaxed and distracted so you don't think about the crap you're sweeping up or whatever. Plant a seed, grow something. If you eat a fruit or vegetable that has a seed, plant it. Watch it grow. Again, you don't need a huge garden plot. Start with any little vessel with dirt in it. Hell, you don't even need a vessel. Just stick it in a pile of dirt. When I was a kid, this changed my world. When I first heard the story about Jack and the damn beanstalk, I got a little hard navy bean from my mom's pantry and stuck it in the ground next to our basketball hoop. And it grew. I was amazed, and I've been amazed to this day. I love growing things.
That's cute. I never heard that story, I don't think.
Yes, you were just checked out, apparently. You were dissociating.
Well, there's a million stories I've heard. I can't keep track of them all.
You've heard it.
Then, yeah.
I just shared it the other day when I talked about it. But the gardening is so satisfying. You can take a slice of a tomato or just the seeds from the tomato. A lot of people don't eat the seeds. I eat the whole tomato. But put those seeds in a layer of soil or even a wet paper towel and just see what happens over a few days. It's amazing. It's inspiring.
When I was in elementary school, they had us do a little thing to show how quickly things take off like that. And they just had us put beans in our mouths because it's a hot, dark, damp place. And within like a minute of us holding the bean in our mouth, it already started opening to create life.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
They wanted to show us that, and it did. And they were like, let's look at it.
Wow, wow, wow.
It was really cool.
You can plant every avocado seed, and people used to stick toothpicks in the seed and hover it over half in water. You don't need to do any of that. Stick it right in. If you've got a plant now, stick it in any plant in the soil. Stick it outside. It will grow. I have
what are
avocado.
We talking about? Sorry,
avocado seeds.
I know, but I'm just thinking wrong because what
the avocado plant in my living room is what, 6 feet tall now, 7 feet tall, and I've stuck other seeds in there, so it's kind of fuller. So now there's like 5 of them growing in there. It's a healthy addiction. Do that. Oh, sow native wildflower seeds. I forgot I even put this on the list. Talk about inexpensive. Anywhere you can buy 10,000 wildflower seeds that are native to your area and just scatter them. You don't need a plot of anything. Just scatter them and they will grow and they come back. They're perennial. Another thing that feeds your soul is cooking, creating, anything creating. And we all, even if you say, I don't like to cook, what's your favorite thing you like to eat? Watch it on YouTube, watch a cooking show on TV, and just do it. And you've recently discovered this, so let's hear your testimony.
If you are addicted to DoorDash, Uber Eats, Postmates, any of those food delivery apps like I once was, figure out what are the things you order most often and get the ingredients and learn how to make it at home. It will get easier with practice, and it'll be so satisfying when you're not spending $40 per delivery to make the same thing like 10 times at home.
And you're able to customize it exactly the way you like it, whether it's extra mayonnaise on a sandwich or extra chili paste in a Thai dish.
My biggest things I was ordering for a while was Chick-fil-A, and I made that meal at home, and I made for you and my nephew, and it was very good. And even the Chick-fil-A sauce, y'all, stop buying that bottle. You can make it at home if you have, well, look up the recipe online, but it was like honey and mayo, and it had like everything in it, and that's why it's so good if you like it. And I was making poke at home. I was really sussed out to make anything with raw fish at home. I was like, I don't trust myself. But if you get sushi grade fish, and this can be a special treat.
It's not yourself, it's the resources that you collect. They have to be fresh.
Exactly. So sushi grade fish, and cut it up and season it right. It's very good. Very good. And I actually got burnt out of it because I was making it so often.
I used to be the only... Well, that's another beautiful thing you can do. I was addicted to Reuben sandwiches for a while. And then I realized the most expensive ingredient is that meat.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoy the sandwich as much with just the sauerkraut, 1000 dressing, Swiss cheese on grilled rye.
What kind of meat is it? Is it corned beef? Oh.
Pastrami?
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Corned beef pastrami are pretty... That's a good question. Let's use technology.
The more you know.
Hey Siri, what kind of meat is in a Reuben sandwich?
Hey,
Corned beef.
I do know something.
Swiss cheese, sauerkraut, and Russian dressing on grilled rye.
I'm actually proud of myself because I feel like I don't know shit.
Siri, what's the difference between corned beef and pastrami?
Read it for the people.
Pastrami is made from cured smoked beef, while corned beef is brisket that has, well, I don't know the difference between.
That has been cured and pickled in a seasoned brine. A brine.
So one is
What's
cured.
A brine?
I love, it's just like a salt water. A pickling salty water.
Why can't
Soak
they
it
just
in.
call it that? Why is it gotta make words?
Why is that called corned? People picture corn in their meat.
Well,
has nothing to do with
picture the peppercorns.
No.
It doesn't even have that.
No.
It tastes like it.
Which meat?
Sometimes.
Corned beef?
Yeah, because you're talking about corn.
No, it's not mentioned.
Oh, should we talk about the corned beef story?
I don't know it.
Well, she was trying to get me to try good corned beef. Because I had only ever had it in a can.
No, it was hash.
Is that not the same thing?
No, hash is potatoes with some beef in it.
Okay. What about it?
So it's mainly potatoes. That's how.
Okay, so
in
you
the old
wanted
days,
me to try that.
Corned beef hash. Yes.
And so I ordered that at this fancy restaurant we live by.
Oh, God.
And I think it did say corned beef hash because I think it was corned beef and potatoes. Did. But it was not like how
No, it wasn't fried hash.
It was like these big, raw, almost chunky.
And a broth with some
nasty.
Potatoes. That was not hash.
It was gross.
Seriously, if you want to try old school hash, you can buy it in a can still. Corned beef hash. That's a good thing to have in your pantry because it gives you some meat.
That's all I've ever had, and it's because my sister, the one closest in age to me, loves that. And anytime I'd go over there, well, not anytime, but sometimes she would put that on a plate.
It's great with eggs. Most people have it for breakfast. But, the best way to make it from scratch is to get some corned beef yourself. You can even cheat and buy those shredded hash browns that come frozen because it's already shredded for you. And then all you have to do is hydrate them and put oil in a pan and put that meat, again, your personal ratio, how much meat to how much potatoes, and just fry it in a pan with some oil and seasoning. I
miss when my sister lived close.
Well, I try not to fry anything anymore, so we don't have much fried stuff, but that's excellent.
I'm close with all my siblings, but I was really close with my sister closest in age because she lived really close by before she moved to another state. And we would go to the gym together, and I would go over to her place, and we would play games, and we would go shopping, and we would do all these things. She really got me out of the house a lot because she's more of a social butterfly than I am.
She's the only one in another state, but she fell in love and had a good supportive living situation. Anywho, that's, I think, the end of my list. I could go on and on about what are we looking at now? Now, are you looking at the clock? Where's your clock? We're halfway there. Halfway there.
I knew it.
Living on a prayer. Okay, that's another thing. You come up with a word. That's a fun game to play.
Yeah,
When
we
you're talking,
play that.
And somebody says something that reminds you of a lyric to a song. Then
And we go back and
into
forth.
Song. There
we go
you
back
go.
and forth. And who can't come up with a song loses.
It's always me. Because we're usually driving in a car and I'm distracted. And your memory's better with lyrics.
I'm trying to think of a song right now, but I can't.
You are so beautiful.
But it has to be related to what we're saying.
I was just thinking. You're beautiful.
Oh.
You couldn't think of a lyric.
Thanks. You see my hive?
Nope.
That's all I'm focusing on. But it's kind of going away now.
See my jowls?
And I don't know why. I think I itched there and then it's just like, I'm going to be red now for 5 minutes. 10 minutes.
It's on your list.
Well, I wanted to make it clear that it was a morning episode. I did that. EMDR. I've been doing EMDR for the past few weeks.
Slow down and tell us what those initials stand for.
Eye movement desensitization and reprocessing.
And the purpose?
Okay, there's like a million different explanations, but my counselor put it in terms that I would understand. I don't know if it'll make sense to anyone watching, but she was like, it takes the trauma part of your brain, which I guess is in the back of your brain, and it takes the present moment part of your brain, which is in charge of like fine motor skills and shit, and it connects them so that it, like the traumatic or stressful memories you have from the past, obviously if their memories are from the past, and the part of your brain that controls your fine motor and like things you have to focus on in this moment, and it connects them so that those memories don't disturb you as much in the present as they once did.
I already forget what the R stands for. Don't tell me. Eye movement desensitization. What?
And reprocessing.
Oh.
So what I've been doing, I don't know if there's other ways to do it. There probably is, but since we're virtually doing counseling, she puts a little ball up on the screen and she can control when to start it and how fast it goes. And she'll tell me like, focus on this stressful memory and follow this ball. And I'll follow it for like maybe 30 seconds and then she'll stop it and she's like, tell me what came up for you. And then I'll tell her and she's like, okay, keep going. And then I'll watch the ball and then she'll stop it and what came up for you. And I we have been doing that for a long time now, that same thing, the entire session, every session. And she's not allowed to give as much verbal feedback as she would doing talk therapy because it's a different kind of therapy. So I had to ask her, I was like, how long do we do this? And like what? And she was like, well, eventually you will sort out all your negative cognitions related to this memory, because that's kind of what I'm doing when she's like, focus on that memory and focus on...
In 30 seconds, does something come up every time? I'd be focusing on the damn ball.
Well, that's the end goal. But when it's a stressful memory like that, I have a lot that comes out and it links.
Okay.
And she's like, tell me anything that comes to your mind. If we're talking about something stressful that happened yesterday and you're thinking of your dead dog from when you were 5, there's some connection there. So tell me about it. And then that leads to another thing, and that leads to another thing. And she kind of described it as like our brain is like this, and there's all these different channels, and maybe we're working on one channel, and then we'll get to the middle, and you'll think about your dead dog, and then that'll lead to another channel, and you kind of just work through all those, and it does take a lot of time. But by the end, you should get to a place of like, I think I said everything I can say. And that's kind of where I'm at now.
Interesting.
Last session, I was like, I'm not thinking of anything. And she's like, okay. And I don't know how long I have to not be thinking of anything or just be thinking positive that she'll be like, okay, we're good. But she was like, you'll feel a shift. And so I'm just trusting it. I'm trusting my therapist because I only know what she's told me and what I've experienced. I'm not trained in it like her. But it has been interesting. So I wanted to mention that for anyone interested in EMDR. And so I'm doing it now to help with my panic attacks. Because before she was trained in it, she was saying it might help. Yeah. That's cute. He's totally staring. Hi, Bob. Always, I think he sees himself. Look at his wide eyes.
One
In
of
real
these
life.
things is not like the
Look-
others.
Look at his wide eyes. Hi, Bob. Or maybe he's just looking at us. I don't know. So yeah, I'm using EMDR to help with my panic attacks, but it can be any stressful event, any stressful memory, traumatic event, traumatic memory.
I thought that was Iggy. I just realized
Okay.
you said hi, Bob. Okay.
You had a birthday recently.
Yeah, we don't count anymore. I'm closer to 70 than 60 now.
I didn't know if you wanted to talk about it, but I did note that.
No, nothing to talk about. I just believe in living every day and educating yourself every day. And
Well, how about what are some lessons you've learned by this age throughout all those years that you would give to someone my age? Since our podcast is mainly like the different generations.
well, the most shocking thing that nobody told me, you feel pretty much the same inside the core of you as you did in grade school and high school as a teenager. I'm in here. That's why it's so shocking to see a photograph or look in the mirror. It's like, who the hell is that?
So what age do you feel like you're stuck at?
I'm not stuck at anything.
Well, you know what I mean.
I'm just the same person I've always remembered myself to be, the core of yourself.
In
I don't know how to say it.
counseling, my counselor,
I don't have the words.
I was saying something like this, like I am so connected to my 19-year-old self, and that I feel
You
like is when I
always
felt
will
the most
be.
free. And she's like, oh, she's inside of you, like that doesn't go away, you just add on to it. And so if you need to call back that part of you, that's why some days I'll dress more like I did when I was 19, because I'm like, I want to connect with that me today, like I need my 19-year-old self's support. But yeah, that is really cool. You can like call in those parts because they're all there. And she also told me that she believes we're all children, like until the day we die, and even after.
Because
and
it's just your
we just call it
essence.
something else.
It's your soul. It's your spirit.
We call it something else at a different age, which is important for consent and things like that. But and she was like, and adults need play. Like we never lose the need for that. We just start playing in different ways and I don't know, but it's a good reminder to think like, oh, I still have my inner child. I still need to play and have fun and
I've
live a balanced life.
At my age, I've lost a lot of relatives and classmates. And I'm personally, based on my belief that you just transition to another dimension and you can't destroy energy, I'm not afraid of leaving this realm at all. That doesn't mean I want to. I'm enjoying my family and my kids and my grandkids. And
yeah, I want you to meet.
Want to keep experiencing things.
My kids.
Yeah.
I'm distracted.
I don't know where I was going with that, but anyway.
Because when I asked about your necklace, I wanted you to share the story of like the guy who presented it to you and why he said that was your necklace.
You remember more than me, obviously. I didn't write it down. It's a dragonfly and it's got turquoise.
Well,
and
the shop we went to, wasn't it owned by Native Americans? And
everything
Native American
there,
staff?
Everything there.
And so this is a Native American necklace.
Yes.
And the Native American elder gave it to you. And said,
give it to me.
Well, he said he said your name is Dragonfly Spirit or something like that.
Okay.
And so
and
you got that
hand-painted different colors on the wingtips that signify the 4 directions
of the wind.
And yeah,
that's really cool. And I got a little turtle necklace. It was a pink turtle. I didn't get a named turtle or anything, I don't think, but I thought it was cute.
About that, yeah. But those things are definitely worth it.
Dragonfly.
Drive,
and what is this?
Out.
It's like pearl. I know it's not pearl, but
I know this is what we're trying to come up with. It's the same
opalescent.
thing that dress was made out of.
We're talking about Ariana Grande's Met Gala look.
Hey Siri, what was Ariana Grande's 2024 Met Gala dress made of? It's not even the same question. Never mind.
Look at Boba's still looking. Look at him. Oh, he's...
Oh,
he turned around.
I was thinking this cat.
Hey, Bob.
So I just had a friend 5 years younger than me pass away this morning, so that's top of mind. And I know her parents who transitioned long before her were there to greet her, and she made a choice as a soul. And sometimes what's left of this earthly body is not welcoming as much as transitioning.
Well, they say that's why we're made to forget everything before this life, because if you knew it, this would be unbearable.
It'd be too much.
Everyone would be, you know,
past lives, that's a whole other topic.
because you wouldn't be afraid of death.
There's all these little kids that remember, because when you first transition to this life, you still might have bits and pieces of that, and then you slowly forget as you get entrenched into this society and this lifetime. But there's even a movie, there's this little boy that remembers he was a fighter pilot in World War I, and he knew everything about the planes before he could hardly talk.
Another reason I love TikTok is because parents will show little clips of their kids, and one was talking about being another being, and one was talking about...
You mean a life form from another planet or something? Another existence by that?
Another race in the galaxy.
Right.
One of those that you talk about. They were like, oh, I'm this, and the parent hadn't even heard of it, and then they're like looking it up, and then there's another person that saw a picture of their like great grandpa, and they were like, oh, that's so and so, and then they remembered him as a young guy, and that's why the person was even confused, because it was like a picture of them at war.
Are you comfortable touching just on UFO? I'm not going to talk about the things that scare you. But
that's what scares me.
But people say they don't believe in UFOs because they haven't seen one. How many of you believe in God or Jesus and all that? Have you seen them? What physical evidence do you have of any of that? So that is a ridiculous thing to say. I can trust what other people report. I don't have to see it myself. I'm fascinated and do research every day on these topics, but I've never personally seen or experienced anything. And I believe in Jesus. He's my BFF. And I believe in the other existence in other dimensions and in other galaxies and the multiverse and yada, yada, yada.
I believe in everything and nothing. You know why? Because like you said, our thoughts create our reality. So for something to exist, it also has to not exist somewhere else. Like you said, hell is real for people that believe in hell, and it's not real for people that don't believe in it. And so I think anything anyone's ever thought of is real, but I don't have to have it be real for me. But it's real somewhere else. So I'm not going to say, you're wrong. I'm going to just say that's your experience.
Words can't... To say real, what is real? Yeah.
It's not real. But it's real.
Real isn't even...
That's why
that word is...
Everything that exists there is the opposite. Hate, love, war, peace.
How would you know cold if you didn't know hot? How would
Yin
you know
yang.
love if you didn't know hate or fear or anger?
Moon, sun.
Yep. What other topics you got?
Billy's album, what'd you think of it?
I love Billie Eilish and Phineas. Her brother doesn't get as much attention because he's not the front voice, but those two together are a dynamic duo. Creative team. They definitely work together in another dimension and brought forth these talents and are sharing them with the world.
I also loved the album, but something I noticed when listening to this one, I'm a person that enjoys more songs that are not as long. Because I get really impatient and my brain goes... Blah, blah, blah. I know when a song is beautiful, you don't want it to end.
How much of being a social media baby do you think affects this attention span?
Oh, totally. I know that.
Because conversely, you should be able to just get lost in...
Well, I can, but it depends on the moment. And most of the time, I'm like...
I think that's true. That's truer than anything.
I like different sounds.
You got to be in the right mood. I don't even want to listen to anything in certain moods.
I just want to... I want more options of sound, and then I can pick one and put it on repeat. That's what I would prefer.
Mm.
But they were very good. I liked it. Especially Chihiro, because anyone who's seen Spirited Away, I like the references. And when she said, like, You took my love from
What
me.
is Spirited Away?
It's like how Yubaba took Chihiro's name.
Is that a horse movie? I think
Oh,
there was
you're
a
thinking
Disney
of
movie
Spirit.
called Spirit. That's why I'm asking. What is
Okay, I was
Spirited
confused.
Away?
It's a Studio Ghibli movie.
Okay.
Okay, I wanted to say also, I can't remember what song it is, but at the end of one of the songs, anyone who listened closely enough, Billy whispers a number. And if you call it...
You don't have to listen that closely because I heard it. Oh, okay.
I don't think you...
Hello? Hello? Wait, I can't hear you.
Is that her?
Hello? Hold on, let me call you back.
You can text this phone number. If you want to be texted first, press any key now. Messages will be sent to your number via community. Standard messaging and data rates.
Very smart.
Consent is not a condition of purchase.
She's not the first one to do this, but I think the way she did it was cool. Because it was like, only people that hear that in the song and actually take the time to go call that number will know about it. And all she's done thus far is...
It's like a fan club.
Yeah, she sent out a text like, oh, I released the...
It's like signing up for an e-newsletter. Keep talking.
She said, oh, I released the raw vocals, and she sent a link to listen to the music without any of the other sounds. So that was nice. But you had to pay for it. So I didn't do it. Because someone posted on YouTube,
even
so I just listened to it on
they
YouTube.
usually let you know text rates apply,
But
so don't
if
sign up for it.
you want to get the text messages and you didn't hear it in the song, since I can't tell you what song to go listen to, it's 310-807-3956. I repeat, 310-807-3956.
I love, again with the music thing, the show American Idol. I've been watching it since it started.
Now I'm looking at the time and you haven't looked once.
I looked.
Well, you're doing it more discreetly.
15
Normally you're
minutes
like...
left.
I haven't seen you do that this episode.
So American Idol, the season just wrapped up, and
American Idol.
the young woman who won was the one I wanted to win.
Her name
I guess
is...
I won't say it if anybody hasn't seen it, but her audition, she sat down and played the piano and sang the Billie Eilish song from Barbie. What Was I Made For? Dynamite! She's extraordinary. And in fact, this season, the top 10 were extraordinary. I'm usually, to me, somebody's far and above the rest of them. This was a great group of people.
L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore can love. Is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two.
See, you're so good with lyrics.
Two in love can make it. Take my heart and please don't break it. Love was made for me and you.
What inspired that?
Because you said extraordinary. That's why I pointed at you during that word.
Ooh, see, I didn't pick up on it. They really, really are. It was fantastic. Watch that on demand. It's so inspiring. And now every single participant, they delve into their life. They tell their life story, and you meet their family and you see where they grew up, including living in cars, homeless. Never gave up hope. They continue to create, and they're creating. You don't have to be the winner to create and be happy. They're out there creating. They're bussing on the street.
And there are examples of this everywhere. People that have come from nothing to like having everything, and then they give back, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing to see now with the internet, and people can share their stories.
And why? It's the journey. It's not the destination. Somebody hands you a pot of gold. What have you learned? What have you experienced? Nothing. No thing.
Last night, what I was doing I I was watching Kai Cenat, who is like the biggest, I think he is, or maybe he's like one below now, but he used to be the biggest streamer on Twitch.
Spell it.
Kai, and then last name Cenat.
Okay.
And he lived in the Bronx, and now he has made so much money streaming and doing his YouTube channel and all this other stuff. He bought his mom a house. He went to Nigeria, and he's building a school there now. I think he also went to Taiwan. I don't know if he's building a school there, but he's always giving back to these different communities and traveling around the world and seeing different things. And I was watching the video of him going to Nigeria. Everyone there was so happy to see him, and he was trying the local foods and seeing people. And he went to this school that was run down, and he talked to the principal, and the principal was like, oh, we want to fix this and fix that because the floor is breaking and stuff. And
how do you know all this? Did he tell you this, or did he show
YouTube
a video?
Yeah, he was going, and he talked. It was really cool to see. It made me cry. I was like, damn. And he was like, it's crazy to walk through this African village and see their school and see how happy they are to just be in this rundown school, and so appreciative of every little thing. These kids look so happy in the streets and like with no shoes on their feet and stuff. And he's just like, I'm really glad I came here because it's so easy where we live to take these things for granted, and when you have money to just like spend it on a Birkin bag or a Rolex watch when you're one of those rich people and just posting pictures and shit.
Service
It's
to
like
others, making the world a better place.
that's what it's about, because like you are in those people. Like you are not separate from those people. We are nature. We are each other. We are all connected.
We are
and so
one.
that's kind of like why you said when you're
There's a book,
disconnected.
The
it's gonna
Law
drive you
of
crazy.
One. Read The Law of One.
In this generation, my generation, all the younger generations, I think we've adopted a mentality of like, oh, we're all independent go-getters. We can do it ourselves. And especially in America, we definitely have a individualist mindset. And
There's no I in team. We grew up with that too.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, in my classes in grad school, we talked about how America is primarily an individualist society. We all work separately and da-da-da-da-da. When in, like, these other cultures, you live with the family for your life, and the grandparents take care of the babies, and the younger people go work, and then they come back, and they take care of the elders, and da-da-da. And I think we can lose sight of that. And I think
financially, we're getting back to intergenerational
It's
cohabitating, and it's
I
positive
think,
for everyone.
yeah, one of the good things to come out of the things I've gone through is, yeah, being with you longer. I didn't think I'd be here this long.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there are definite benefits in being close to you. No one else has had time with mom like this.
Now you got to sing Close to You.
You do.
I forget how it starts. I suck at lyrics.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time
you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.
Why do stars fall down from the sky every time
you walk by?
Her voice is just incredible. I can't.
I know. The range.
I know. I'm like,
just like me, they long to be close to you. Then the drums come in. Ba-da-boom, ba-da-boom, ba-da. Listen to music, people. Look up Close to You. Look up the Carpenters. That's Karen Carpenter. And take care of your health. She never thought she was pretty enough or thin enough, and she starved herself to death. She was the first heavily publicized case of anorexia, and it killed her. I think she was 27 and died of a heart attack. Lack of nutrition.
Learn
Beautiful
to love
voice.
yourself in every present moment, whatever you're going through, whatever you look like, whatever the fuck. Because it's so important. Your present moment is all you have. Don't get lost in comparison, not to other people and not even to yourself in the past or like what you might be in the future. This is all that matters, okay? If you can learn to love that and keep the love going, because the present moment's gonna change, like you're gonna keep going forward, but like don't lose that, then you have everything. And you will have more to give to others and offer others if you have found that within yourself. Period. The only other things I noted was Willow, because the last episode took a while to get up, and so I was talking about how the album was gonna come out, but now I've heard it and I love it, and I was playing it on repeat, plus her older albums, and so I wanted to say that.
And Willow is the daughter of Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yes.
Yeah, she's awesome.
And then I just made a note about more exposure therapy that I've done, which we kind of touched on with the little road trip and stuff. And
The little road trip. We took 2 days in a row road tripping. Just took off.
and appointments. I had like 3 appointments for this panic attack thing I'm trying to
Challenges.
figure out. The first one was to get referred to mental health. So we did that, check. And then we got referred to this place, and we went there, and we found out that was not where we should have been, so check. And then the first appointment lady reached out and said, you should get these labs done because maybe your anxiety is linked to XYZ, and I did that, and it was nothing, actually, so
The
check.
second one, it's not that that's not where we should have been. You made a decision, because you're in charge of your health and what you want, to go through this organization with that funding. You had to change counselors, basically. And you didn't want to give up your counselors, so you made the choice.
But it's not where I should have been because they did not have the things I wanted. Even if I
But
did
you
all
don't
that,
know until you go through these steps. So don't be afraid
but someone
to
could have
move.
said it on the phone, you know? It's
No,
annoying. It's
no,
annoying.
because there's probably 1,000 questions. You can't cover them all. You don't know until you... Because what they were hearing is that we were looking for something that would take your insurance.
Yes, and it's annoying.
Time's about up.
Thanks for watching the podcast thing. We talked a lot, and now we'll sing.
Mama B and me, Mama B and me.
Take
What you want and leave the rest.
We just hope that you'll do your best. Mama B and me, Mama B and me.
I'm no Karen Carpenter.
I am a Gen Z. You forgot your part again.
I'm an old
B and
hippie,
you already
Mama
missed
B and
it.
me. I'm ad-libbing, I'm improvising.